What if I told you that a 17-year-old emergency left-back who once got overlooked by his own childhood idol turned into one of the most complete players in world football and is on the verge of winning the Champions League for his club? That this quiet, smiling kid from West London would end up putting up numbers that rival Cristiano Ronaldo in his early years? Sounds very unreal, right? But this is very real. The very terrifying truth about Bukayo Saka. And if you're still sleeping on him, you won't be for long. Bukayo Saka was born on the 5th of September 2001 in Ealing, West London. His parents of Nigerian descent moved to the UK to build a better life. Little did they know, their son would go on to add joy to millions. The name Bukayo literally means adds to happiness. Saka kicked off his journey at local side Greenford Celtic before joining Arsenal's Hale End Academy at just 7 years old. From then on, it was clear, this kid was different. Arsenal under-16 coach Trevor Bumstead once said, he always stood out. He knew when to pass, when to dribble, always made the right choice, and physically he was top level. And it wasn't just football. At school, Saka destroyed his GCSEs with 4 A stars and 3 A's. Intelligence on and off the pitch, that's always been his superpower. Here's something that still surprises people. Thierry Henry, the Arsenal legend, once doubted Saka and whether he can make it to the top. He rated other academy players like Reece Nelson and Donyell Marlon, but that makes Saka's rise even sweeter. He wasn't the chosen one, but he just worked, evolved, and turned himself into a generational player. Saka made his Arsenal debut in November 2018 at just 17 years old. By January 2019, he was the first player born in 2001 to appear in a Premier League game. Then came 2019-2020. Arsenal had an injury crisis, and Saka was thrown in as a left-back. Not ideal, but instead of sinking, he thrived. That spell showed everyone just how smart, mature, and adaptable he was. By 2020-21, Saka had become the shining light in Arsenal's struggling team. He dropped 7 goals and 7 assists and helped Arsenal win the FA Cup and was named Arsenal's Player of the Season. He'd win it again in 2022, recording 14 goals and 11 assists. Then came Euro 2020. He played a key role in England reaching the final. The penalty miss in the shootout, brutal. But the way he bounced back with grace and fire, that's who Bukayo Saka really is. Saka vs Ronaldo? Seriously? Yes, seriously. By the end of the 2022-23 season, Saka racked up 20 goals and 9 assists after 210 senior appearances. He'd registered 51 goals and 49 assists, outperforming Cristiano Ronaldo's numbers at the same stage. Now fast forward to 2025. After a 3-month injury break to the season, Saka came back like he never left.
Well, I think he's the best winger in the world. I think he's better than Vinicius Jr.
11 goals and 14 assists in 29 appearances across all competitions. In the Premier League, 5 goals and 10 assists in just 16 games. In the Champions League, 4 goals and 2 assists in 5 appearances. Those are elite numbers, and he's not even at full tilt yet. We saw just how dangerous he could be in Arsenal's demolition of Real Madrid in the Champions League quarter-final. Now that was against arguably the strongest back line in world football right now. With Saka back in the fold, are Arsenal actually favourites to finally win some European silverware? 100%. Despite their underachievement in Europe historically, Arsenal have the most balance in terms of defending and attacking ability. Arsenal faced Paris Saint-Germain in the semi-finals. While their front line is cooking right now, with Doué and Kvaratskhelia on the flanks, their defence will face problems with the intelligence of Odegaard's playmaking, combined with Saka's unpredictability, and Declan Rice's set-piece prowess, not to mention Martinelli's explosiveness down that left side. Arsenal would face either Barcelona or Inter Milan in the final. Barcelona are a nightmare matchup for Arsenal in their own very different way from Inter. While Inter aim to grind you down, Barca aim to drown you out in their silky high-speed football. Here's why they could be a serious problem for Mikel Arteta's side. Number 1. They want the ball as much as Arsenal. Arsenal are used to dictating tempo. 55% plus possession is their comfort zone. But against Barcelona, good luck. Here's why it's a problem for Arsenal. Barca are one of those few teams who can outpossess Arsenal. If Arsenal can't get control, Saka and Martinelli get starved of service. Barcelona are obsessed with dominating the centre of the pitch. Arteta's system relies on Rice and Odegaard controlling the middle, but against Barca, Rice could get dragged wide, Odegaard pressed into rushed decisions, and Arsenal's rhythm could get disrupted. The game could pass them by unless they match Barca's intensity and movement. Even if Barcelona are having an average game, they've got a guy who can switch it all in a second. This Barca side isn't just talented, they're hungry. After years of Champions League failure and financial drama, they're finally putting it all together. Think of it like Goku unlocking a new form. They're not quite peak era Barca, but their vibes are creeping in. Mentality matters. Barcelona feel like they're meant to be back here. Arsenal, though talented, still have more to prove at this level. Experience in these crunch moments could swing it. Arsenal must win the midfield battle and defend their transition moments like their legacy depends on it, because it kinda does. Inter Milan are also a major problem for Arsenal, for a few key reasons. Inter have only conceded 2 goals in the entire Champions League campaign up to the semi-final. That's not just good, that's elite. Simone Inzaghi has built a system that thrives on compact structure, positional discipline and ruthless efficiency. Arsenal love to dominate possession and create overloads in wide areas, especially through Martinelli and Saka. But Inter don't panic when under pressure, they defend in waves, with experienced heads like Iturbe and Bastoni mopping up the danger, and wingbacks constantly tracking runners. It's like trying to break a vault with a spoon. Inter can suffocate games, especially once they get the lead. They'll sit deep and hit you on the break with players like Martinez and Thuram. They don't need a lot of chances, just one counter and you're in trouble. Arsenal sometimes struggle to break down low blocks and can be vulnerable on the counter. When Lewis Skelly or Ben White push up, Inter will be watching like hawks. If Arsenal don't score early, they could fall into Inter's trap. Inter reached the Champions League final in 2023 and have kept much of that core squad. They're hardened, used to high-stakes knockout football and don't get rattled easily. Inter want chaos. Arsenal prefer rhythm. Inter's defence has been called a wall, and Saka, he lives for pressure. He'll isolate defenders like Bastoni and DeMarco, then turn them inside out with that trademark chop and burst. Inter defend deep, but Saka has learned to thrive in the tight spaces. He doesn't need a runaway, just a half yard and one mistake. And if Inter overload on the right side, that creates gaps for Odegaard, Havertz and Martinelli to exploit. Saka might not just score, he could pull the strings and unpick the lock. On the other hand, if they face Barcelona, they want the ball, they want to dazzle. But here's the thing, Saka can play that game too, and beat them at it. He's not just a winger, he's a creator, a goal scorer and a tempo setter. Saka's ability to break into the spaces in behind could be devastating. Arsenal were built to get the best out of Saka, and the scary part, we still haven't seen his ceiling. Bukayo Saka is only 23, but he's playing like a man who wants to make history.